Houston County's Commission Chairman finally addresses the removal of religious bumper stickers from sheriff's vehicles, plus some Wiregrass community members head back to the classroom, find out what they learned a little later. David?
And hey, some sunshine back in the Wiregrass, looking good. I'll have your forecast coming up.
From your hometown news leader, this is WTVY News 4 at 5.
A Dothan commissioner behind bars for an assault on a WTVY reporter. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Devin Sellers.
I'm Reginald Jones. Thank you for joining us at News 4 at 5. Dothan District 2 City Commissioner Amos Newsom is facing a third-degree assault charge today after an attack on a WTVY News reporter after today's City Commission meeting. Now, Dothan police officers arrested Newsom just before 4 o'clock this afternoon outside a home in the 900 block of East Berdershaw Street. He was taken into custody without incident. Here's a look at what happened after this morning's commission meeting.
Morning, Mr. Newsom. How are you, sir? Anything changed?
I'm fine.
Anything changed since we spoke last time?
Excuse me. Get back.
No, I'm just asking you if anything changed since last time.
Excuse me.
Yeah. Do you have any plans to resign?
Excuse me.
Sir, you cannot. You can't do that.
Dr. Newsom. What's happening, man?
Yeah.
I'm here for a second. Doctor.
How about, would you be willing to resign if it would mean a better deal?
Let me tell you something.
Get
Dr. Newsom. Okay.
Newsom's bond was set at $500. The third-degree assault charge is a misdemeanor. As for Ken's injuries, they are not believed to be serious. He suffered contusions and abrasions and has a swollen eye.
Houston County Commission Chairman Mark Culver says that he doesn't like it, but removing religious decals from Houston County Sheriff's vehicles makes good sense. Culver has been criticized heavily since the decals were removed last week. Culver said the action came on the advice of attorneys who said defending lawsuits could cost hundreds of thousands of dollars, and Culver said even after spending that much money, the decals would likely be ordered to be removed. The chairman said he supports the Blessed Are the Peacemakers decals, but removing them made logical sense for the best interest of the county.
We've appointed federal judges that now are making rulings on things that our citizens don't want, that have put us in these situations. We've got to correct that, but that's at the federal level. That's not something the Houston County Commission or the Sheriff of Houston County can correct.
Culver said he feels like people who criticize him do not understand the issue. He stressed that actions have to be in the best interest of everyone.
Meanwhile, one local business owner is showing his support for the decals. Signs, etc. in Dothan is giving decals free to put on your own car. For a little more than a month now, business owner Tom Cozart has been offering the decals for those who want to show support for the Sheriff's Department. Now, they've given out more than 2,000 so far. They've sent stickers as far away as Birmingham, Texas, and even Indiana.
I sent a message to the sheriff saying that if he couldn't have them on his cars, we'd put them on every other car in Houston County.
Although Signs, etc. is giving out the decals free, they do accept donations.
Authorities have identified the body of a man found beside a Coffee County road early yesterday morning. An autopsy is being performed to determine how 33-year-old Robert Jonathan Crates died. His body was found alongside Coffee County Road 606 at around 2:30 yesterday morning. State homicide investigators are working the case with the assistance of the Enterprise Police Department. And Eufaula police are investigating reports of an officer impersonator. The incident happened this morning near Lake Point State Park. The victim told police they were pulled over by a white Chevrolet Impala with flashing blue lights at around 7 o'clock on Highway 431 North. When the victim pulled over, the Impala pulled over as well, but no one ever got out. After several minutes, the car made a U-turn and left. If you have any information, you are asked to call the Eufaula Police Department.
The top U.S. commander in Afghanistan provided more details today on the U.S. bombing of a Doctors Without Borders hospital over the weekend. 22 people died in the bombing. The group has accused the U.S. of a war crime. The general called the airstrike a mistake, saying Afghan forces requested the airstrike during a battle with Taliban fighters.
We had a special operations unit that was in close vicinity that was talking to the aircraft to deliver those fires.
Doctors Without Borders is calling for an independent investigation of the airstrikes, claiming the inquiries being carried out by the U.S., NATO, and Afghans are too biased. Parts of South Carolina are still submerged after record flooding. The storm is blamed for at least 15 deaths. Sun's back shining in Colombia, but it could take weeks to dry out. The Congaree River has flooded the area around it, but several others have not yet crested. Tens of thousands of families are still without water. More than 800 people are staying in shelters, and more evacuations could be ordered.
Well, the sun is back shining in the Wiregrass as well.
Indeed it is. Let's go to David. He's standing by in the 4-1 Storm Center for a first check on our weather this afternoon. David?
Yeah, so much brighter this afternoon. That sunshine coming out. Temperatures very pleasant. A beautiful fall evening ahead for us. Take a live look outdoors in downtown Dothan. Some lingering clouds. They will fade away this evening. That temperature now at 77 degrees. Winds north-northeast at 9 miles per hour. Feeling pretty good for any evening plans that you have. There's a look at the satellite picture. The clouds moving southward. Areas north really clearing out. And for the evening hours and tonight, looking at clearing skies. Temperatures falling into the mid-60s by late this evening, and by tomorrow morning, a little cool, lows in the upper 50s. What about tomorrow? More sunshine and then some changes. I'll have your forecast coming up in just a bit.
All right, thanks, David. Some Wiregrass community members went back to school today. It was the Early County School System's annual bus tour. Parents, retired educators, and members of community organizations toured the district's 4 schools. They learned about recent accomplishments and future goals. One of the system's most recent accomplishments is the naming of 5 8th grade students as Reach Scholars. The kids will each get $10,000 and an additional $10,000 when they graduate college.
And they were low income. It was based on need, but low income, high potential, but really looking at they would be first generation college students and providing them a lot of support so that they can be college graduates.
Martin also talks about the system's recent decision to become an IE² school. The district will have community meetings in the spring to get input on their plan. And the Elba High School's homecoming is a week from this Friday, October 16th. A newly formed alumni association will hold its first official meeting and officer election at noon at the school cafeteria. Efforts are being made to contact as many alumni as possible. The organization plans on promoting and encourage a positive image of Elba High. It's hoped the increase in visibility will encourage needed financial support.
At the high school, and there will be a reception, and at that point we're going to elect officers to represent us for the rest of our lives to get started. So we're quite excited.
Those who attend the inaugural Elba High School alumni meeting are assured it will end in time to attend the homecoming parade at 2 that afternoon.
The Kolomoki Festival is celebrating a milestone this year. News 4's Ashton Wright visited the park today. She tells us how officials hope to use the festival to show off the park's other features.
The 45th Annual Kolomoki Festival is this weekend, and while it's a time for lots of fun and good food, park officials hope you'll also take time to explore the park's other attractions. Festival goers will find arts and crafts and food vendors. There will be archery and Native American demonstrators, and a new attraction sure to catch the kids' attention.
The DNR simulator allows you to practice your game hunting, but through a computer. It's got dove hunting and bear hunting. The park is over 75 years old.
Kolomoki Mounds is the oldest, largest woodland Indian site in the southeastern United States. It's home to Georgia's oldest Great Temple Mound and 6 others. Counting the steps it takes to get to the top of the Temple Mound is a favorite for children. There are 81, by the way. But that's just one attraction.
But we also have canoes, kayaks, john boats that you can rent, plenty of playgrounds, camping.
Kolomoki may be celebrating its 45th festival this weekend, but the park is already planning for its 50th festival. At Kolomoki Mounds, I'm Ashton Wright, WTVY, your hometown news leader, right now.
Festival is free to get in. However, there is a $5 parking fee.
Looks like a lot of fun.
It really does.
A Wiregrass Pharmacy is celebrating 60 years of serving the community, what they attribute to their success coming up.
Also, Wiregrass leaders return from a trip overseas, what they hope to have accomplished. That's next. First, let's take a look at your Alpha Skycam network. Today, we're looking at live pictures from Abbeville, Hartford, Enterprise, and Dothan. We're back in a moment.
You're watching News 4 at 5 with Reginald Jones, Devin Sellers, and Chief Meteorologist David Paul.
In today's For the Consumer, a potential German business looks to make its way to the Circle City. City officials recently returned from a trip overseas where they continued discussions with a German aviation company. Now, according to Mayor Mike Schmitz, Dothan was introduced to the company 2 years ago at a London air show, and since then, they've continued talks, recently returning from visiting their manufacturing plant.
We didn't go out and just say, well, let's just take a trip to Germany. This company was an opportunity, and we took it to make them know that we want them to locate here should they decide to come to the United States.
Culver and Dothan Mayor Mike Schmidt say the city and county are working together to bring new jobs to the area. It's not unusual in this day and age to find a chain store on every street corner, but in Columbia, one local pharmacy stands out. News 4's Lauren Linehan visited the town today to speak with the owner of an iconic Wiregrass drugstore. She joins us live from our newsroom now with that story. Lauren?
Reg, despite big-name drugstores being the norm in this day and age, Beasley Pharmacy has withstood the competition since 1955. And with the 60th anniversary celebration on the way this weekend for the pharmacy, I caught up with John Beasley Sr. himself to hear firsthand how he stays local in a changing business climate. John Beasley graduated from pharmacy school in Auburn back in 1955, when it was known as Alabama Polytechnic Institute. Fresh from pharmacy school and an internship in Mobile, he took the opportunity to move back home and start a business. And from the get-go, Beasley showed his dedication to his job and community.
Back then, when they knew who I was, how to get up with me, and if it was in the middle of the night, I'd come down. If the baby was crying all night with a stomach ache or something like that, we were able to come down and open the pharmacy.
Beasley says the local economy struggled back when he first opened and led them to help customers who couldn't pay right away.
We financed them. We ran a credit account for them, and they suffered and we suffered until they got on their feet and they paid me. But there was some rough years to start with.
His compassion made the Beasley Pharmacy a household name, but his accomplishments went further than serving Columbia. He served in the state legislature for 10 years. Beasley has been retired on paper for a while now, but that doesn't stop him from working at least once a week.
We're getting it down. I was 2 days now, 1 day, and I don't know when it'll be no days, but I hope it won't be too soon.
Beasley's daughter, Claudia Gamble, admires her father, and for a man who has worn so many hats, he taught her the importance of a good work ethic.
We've seen how hard he's worked to keep his pharmacy going in Columbia for 60 years, and that's inspired me to work hard at what I do, and my brothers too, I think.
And as Beasley's children reiterate, their father is nothing if not humble, especially when he heard a section of road was being named in his honor.
And the first thing he said, I thought you had to be dead to have a road named after you.
But out of all of Beasley's endeavors, his most prized accomplishment, he says, are his 3 children.
I was able to make a good living and sent all my children to college, and that was what my goal was to start with, and I've accomplished that, and now I'm just sitting back enjoying it.
Although 82-year-old Beasley formally handed over the reins to husband and wife team Brianna and Brian North this past July, he says that won't stop him from popping in every once in a while to do his job. Reg?
No, I'm sure it won't. All right, Lauren, thanks a lot. Really good story there. The 60th anniversary party, by the way, for Beasley Pharmacy is going to be this Saturday at 2 p.m. in Columbia.
All right, thanks, Reg. The sun finally started to peek through this afternoon. David's got a look at the rest of your forecast up next, plus why your gym trip may not be enough to keep your heart healthy. That's a little later. But first, here's a look at today's stocks.
And now from the Forewarned Storm Center, Chief Meteorologist David Paul.
What a beautiful afternoon and evening ahead for the Wiregrass. Sunshine back in our area, looking pretty good. Deep blue skies, that's a live look outdoors in Dothan. It looks so nice after so many cloudy days. Temperatures now in the upper 70s here, 77 degrees in the Circle City. Warmer air to the west of us, temperatures in the 80s, and some of that warmer air is coming in our direction. So you'll notice over the coming days, a little warmer day by day by day, and then mid 80s by the end of this week. Right now, though, feeling great. 78 in Boniface, 79 Donaldsonville, 79 Ozark, 80 now in Abbeville. Looking at temperatures dropping pretty quickly as the sun goes down with drier air moving in. Nothing showing up on Doppler radar. A very quiet day for us, a very quiet evening and overnight period too. A few lingering clouds pushing southward. They will completely move out as we go through this evening. That area of low pressure off the coast and finally being kicked up to the northeast and being caught up in the flow of the jet stream. So drier air to come in as we go through tonight and tomorrow. That means more sun on our Wednesday. This evening, any plans? Looking great by 10 o'clock. Temperatures in the 60s as we go through late tonight. Likely upper 50s tomorrow morning. So light jacket weather on the kids as they head off to work and school. Later tomorrow, midday, upper 70s, lunchtime with sunshine and a few clouds. Fair weather clouds pop up later tomorrow, but more sun than anything else on our Wednesday with high temperatures in the lower 80s. Looking pretty good for tomorrow. Okay, let's go to the tropics. Hurricane Joaquin continues moving away from the U.S. There it is, still a very well-defined eye, winds at 80 miles per hour. Very quickly now moving off to the east, and there's that big upper level low moving on out as well. So we turn our attention to what's happening southward, and there's really not a whole lot, to be honest with you. A couple tropical waves that we are watching out there in the Atlantic, but closer to home, the Caribbean and the Gulf, void of any deep thunderstorm activities, so no worries. Tomorrow at the beach, a little more sunshine, looking at yellow flags. Coastal lakes and bays at a light chop. That water temperature holding at 77 degrees. Overnight 59, clear skies, no rain for us. And then beautiful tomorrow, 83, a little warmer than today, but the air will be pretty dry, dew points in the 50s, so we'll feel fantastic. Northeast winds at 5 to 10 miles per hour on our Wednesday. A little warmer yet as we go through late week, 84 on Thursday, 86 on Friday, and a few more clouds coming back in Thursday into Friday, but we stay dry. And then a little front comes on through, and that means a little cooler for the weekend, 84 to 80 there Saturday and Sunday, and even drier air at that point. Low temperatures falling into the mid 50s for early next week with high temperatures in the lower 80s, about where we should be as we head through the next 7 days, which is not bad. October is such a beautiful month when it's normal. And the days ahead, normal.
So excited to see the sun again.
Makes you feel better, doesn't it?
It does.
It brightens up everything.
Brightens our moods.
Yeah, it does. We have to be careful about this kind of weather, though, because this is kind of like flu-like weather. It goes up and down. Don't know how to dress quite.
Yeah.
So we have to be careful.
Big fluctuations, yeah.
All right, thanks a lot. Local health department is doing its part, speaking of flu, to try and keep the Wiregrass flu-free. We're going to tell you you can get vaccinated coming up.
And the consequences of compulsive texting could have your kids in the academic hot seat. Both those stories ahead in For Your Health. In today's For Your Health, a new study suggests teen girls may be so caught up in their texting, it could affect their performance in school. Researchers surveyed 400 middle and high school students about their texting habits. They found that girls and boys tend to send and receive the same number of texts, but some teens developed compulsive texting and were unable to cut down on their habit. Compulsive texting was associated with poor grades among teen girls, but not boys. Experts suspect girls tend to ruminate more about more than boys, and therefore may be more distracted by the content of their text conversations. And if you didn't get your flu shot yet, tomorrow is a good time. The Houston County Health Department is offering $5 flu vaccines. News 4's Bridget Bureau stopped by the clinic today and tells us why it's important to get vaccinated this flu season.
Thousands of people in the United States die every year from the flu, and even more are hospitalized. Flu vaccines reduce your chances of getting the virus, make flu symptoms less severe, and keep you from spreading the virus to your loved ones. Flu shots in the private sector typically range between $20 and $30. And over a 2-day period, the Houston County Health Department will be offering a $5 flu shot.
It didn't hurt.
Elaine Walker has been getting her annual flu shot for the past 15 years.
I recommend anybody that wants to prevent the flu to come on out and get their shots.
The shots are free with Medicare, Medicaid, and Blue Cross Blue Shield. Not only is the price appealing, but so is the wait time.
They're happy that the process is so simple and easy. They come in, they register, they get through, and they get to the nurse. It couldn't be any easier.
Last year's vaccine shot was criticized for not targeting the predominant flu strand.
This year, hopefully, they've gotten a better idea of which vaccine will work, but it's never 100%.
According to a recent CDC study, flu vaccination reduced flu-related hospitalizations by 71% among adults.
The older I'm getting, I don't want to get sick, maybe something bad happening. You know, I got 2 grandkids I'm crazy about, and I want to be sure I stay healthy.
The CDC recommends that everyone 6 months and older get the flu vaccine. Bridget Bureau, WTVY, your hometown news leader, right now.
The walk-in flu clinic will continue tomorrow from 8 a.m. until 4 p.m. at the Houston County Health Department. And some exercise is good, but more is better when it comes to lowering the risk of heart failure. Federal guidelines recommend at least 150 minutes a week of moderate physical activity like brisk walking. But researchers found it takes double or quadruple that amount to make a significant impact in reducing heart failure.
All right, thanks a lot, Devin. David's back with a final check on our weather in just a moment. And thousands are peacing out in New York. That story next.
This evening, temperatures falling into the 60s as the sun goes down. With that drier air moving in, will fall pretty quickly. By tomorrow morning, upper 50s to light jacket weather, 83 tomorrow. Plenty of sunshine for a change. A little warmer by Friday, 86, a few more clouds. And then a touch cooler for the weekend.
All right. Well, finally, New Yorkers are trying to break a world record for peace. More than 6,000 people gathered in Central Park to create a human peace sign.
The event was organized by Yoko Ono, the widow of the Beatles' John Lennon. It was in honor of what would have been Lennon's 75th birthday later this week.
Pretty impressive.
That is impressive.
I understand they were shy by a few thousand people.
Really?
Yeah, 1,000 something. Close.
I have to try it again.
Yeah.
That's our time. Thank you for yours.
We'll see you at 6.